All right. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can hear me clearly. Okay. So everyone should please mute themselves so we can have a good time. So yeah. So yeah. So it promises to be very educative and interactive as well. I'm not supposed to take so much of your time, just my way of, sensitizing the environment and just making people learn more about real estate investments. I see a lot of people talk about real estate like it's something they cannot actually achieve or it's something undoable. But I just wanted to encourage you, and my way of coming out to do this is by teaching you exactly how you can go about it. Like I said, I'm on a journey and I'm going to let you know what I'm doing and how you can join me, what exactly has been holding you back, biggest excuses that has been making you procrastinate, and some of the routes to property ownership that I'm aware of, and how you can and what you can start doing right now. So this information is strictly educational. It's not a sale pitch or anything, and it doesn't also represent like an investment session. So it's just to, it's mainly to serve as a wake-up call for anyone who desires to live intentionally, to build sustainable wealth. And it starts by knowing where you are, what you want, and how you can achieve it, because there's no goal that is unachievable. And that's my own reason for setting up these free webinars every, I think twice, was it twice, no, every 2 months. Yes, so 6 in a year. So this is the one for September, and I hope you get value and it's worth your time. So a little about me. I'm a mom, wife of Femi, and mother of 3 kids, and I'm an estate surveyor and valuer by profession. And what else? I'm also an author. Yes, that's actually exciting. I wrote 2 books this year, and I hope many of you have gotten it. If you haven't, there's nothing stopping you from sending me a message. But like I said, really, 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 the whole idea is for you to get used to how exactly can you get started. I sent a message some days ago about what's holding you back, and many people mentioned money. So as important as money is when it comes to real estate transaction, there are other things that we do not realize but is actually holding us back, and those are one of the things I'll be talking about today briefly. So my own journey started a few years ago when I realized I really wanted to start investing in property, and I didn't have all the money. So to summarize this, the whole idea was I reached out to someone who I know was also interested in investing at that time. We collaborated and we bought a plot, and we're on a journey of building apartments. And I'm big on collaboration. I'm big on doing things, partnerships, and basically collaborating and achieving your goal. It doesn't have to be, because it's actually a journey, and my journey is unique to me. Your story is unique to you, and you can actually just get started. Do not limit yourself to say, oh, I don't have all the money, because that's also another problem. People say, where do I start from? I don't have the money. And the truth is, you must know that your dream house is not your first investment property. So for me, I realized that early and I started investing. So it's good for you to start from wherever you are. Many of us started with buying land in emerging cities, which is actually a very beautiful way of starting and also amassing wealth. You start from emerging cities that are coming to life in another 5-15 years time. So I'm sure you know exactly that the reason why this is so is because it's still affordable. It's something you can achieve, but I'll still talk about that. So let's just go with the slides. So what exactly do you think is holding you back? is actually the mindset and the belief. So more importantly, the journey creating your road to property ownership is largely based on having the right mindset, having the possibility mindset that yes, it can be done, yes, it can be achieved, and yes, it is possible. Because we find out that many times we shortchange ourselves by believing it's not yet time, or we're too young, or who do I know that is selling. There are lots. I actually have a list of different things. Maybe some people's parents have actually lost money and you feel, oh, real estate is not for me. These are just excuses, and you need to understand that if you can think it, if you can work on your mind to know that I'm going to be successful at this and I'm going to do well, you will definitely do well. I'm saying this because I've been there. I understand where the power of the mind, even this year alone, I've been able to put my mind to work, and with believe in God, and I know that I can actually achieve whatever I set my mind to. So that's very important, that you work on your mind, and you make sure you encourage yourself that yes, you can do it, and yes, you will. So having a positive mindset is very important, and you can call it a wealth mindset, you can call it a mindset of abundance. You're free to call it whatever it is, but it's very important that you have a positive outlook, and ensuring that yes, I'm going to do well in property regardless of what anybody says. So it's very important for you to be aware of your thoughts. You need to force your mind to work positively and also speak positively. It's very huge. You might be wondering, what has that got to do with property? Because property doesn't just happen. Many times you see people that they do not even understand property, and many people even sell property that do not even understand it. So it's very important that you, as an investor, you work on your mind, you understand what you want, because that's also important. Many people want to buy property, they don't even know what they want to buy. And this is largely a problem, because if you don't even know what you want, anybody's going to sell you anything. So it's very important for you to focus. Very, very important for you to focus, stay positive, and you will definitely achieve success. There's no two individuals are two unique people. So my own way of achieving success is definitely not yours. It might even look same, but it's not the same. So you need to spend more time with people who encourages you, people who inspire you, motivate you to be better. It is very, very important, and you do not want to take that for granted. It's very, very important. So what is the reason why you want to create your ideal future and lifestyle? So I say to myself, how bad do you want it, Moji? So what is your why? Your why will make you push beyond boundaries. It will make you go further. It will make you do whatever it takes for you to achieve success. So this is all about positivity. We're not talking about doing bad things to achieve success, because eventually it's not even success though. So you need to work on your mind, have a positive mindset, work with people who are, who inspire you, encourage you, but it's still banked on your why. This is a very important aspect that we do not even talk about when you talk to property. Property, people just feel is at the time when you're parting with your money that you've actually bought property. It starts with your mind. What do you want to achieve? What is your strategy? Because the truth is, real estate investing is just a vehicle. You don't have to invest in real estate to be successful. You can actually do other things to be successful. You can invest in stocks to be successful. You can do business to be successful. You can get a franchise to be successful. So it doesn't have to be real estate investing. So it's just like a vehicle. We're all going to Abuja. We're going on a trip. It's a journey. So you need to be careful, and you need to be mindful of your journey. Yeah, I'm sure you get what I mean, right? So it's really up to you to decide. So if I'm going to be successful, it's up to me. There are no excuses. If I want to achieve property this year, it's up to you. So you don't have to limit yourself or limit your mind to say, it's not possible, or I don't even know where to start. Especially when people talk, when you ask, why haven't you started investing in property? Many people feel maybe they need a whole lot of money. I am also part of the people who say, definitely you can't do property without money, but you need to have that mindset that yes, it is possible and you can achieve it. Please, if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat box. I look forward to receiving your messages. Okay, so more people are joining us. So the first assignment is for you to think about your future, the kind of lifestyle you want for yourself. Like I said, it's about you and not anybody else. So what would you want to have in 2 years, in 5 years? At what age would you like to retire? And what annual income would you like to have at that time, or even afterwards, coming in as your retirement plan? So if you intend to use real estate as a retirement plan, it's very important that you are clear on what you want to achieve and how you want to go about it. All right, so what's your strategy? Definitely, if your investment, if not two people are the same and your reason, your why is different, obviously your strategy should be different too. So it's not about copying what your parents have done or copying what your friend is doing. It's about you defining what you have, because I know, and I say it every time, that investing is an individual journey. So, of course, we're going to learn from people's mistakes, but you're not going to let that limiting you from trying or even limiting you from going ahead. So it's very important that you are clear on your why. It's very important that you're clear on your reason for the kind of life you want to live, because we are actually the designers of our lives. So it's very important that if you want to invest in property, you must be clear on the road path you want to go and how and why, which is one of the things, or mainly the reason why we're having this webinar, and we're going to be talking about briefly. So please, if you have questions, I really need to, okay, yeah, so I can see some questions dropping. So the question now is, how do you intend to raise finance for your next investment property or for your first investment property, depending on where you are on the journey? Like I said, a lot of people always talk about money. Real estate cannot be done without money. Maybe abroad though, you can do it, but I'm sure even there you need to make some deposits before you can even get a mortgage. But here, Nigeria is largely a pay now country, and yeah, there are lots of options as well that you can do. Get a mortgage, you can do a developer's payment plan, developer's mortgage, as it were. You can also have your lump sum. We don't really have too many options in this part of the world, unfortunately. But the point is, you must be aware of what are the options and how can you get started. So it's still about you. So like I said, this is just about like a wake-up call, trying to make you aware of what's going on and how you can now decide, because it is you. I can make recommendations, but you're the one that's still going to decide on what works for you and how best you want to go about it. So one of my reasons for doing this is just to help those who need clarity, who don't even know how to go about it or don't even know who to talk to. So like I said, I feel it's my responsibility to share my knowledge with the world. So, and that's why I'm doing this. And I say a big thank you for you to come here to join me and not making me talk to myself. I'm so excited I have you with me. Thank you. So the route to property ownership is a unique route, and there are many, reasons why you want to invest in property. Like I said, it's a vehicle, and it's up to you to say which angle you want to go about it. So there are quite a number of routes to real estate, and definitely real estate is not just residential properties. It can be land, it can be apartments, it can be detached houses, it can be duplexes, it can be shops, warehouses. These are retail aspects. It can be agricultural, it can be industrial. So you can even build a warehouse and you rent it out. So it doesn't have to be residential or everybody say, oh, you must be, it must be houses like where you want to live. And the truth is, even the house you live in is actually not an investment per se, because an asset's supposed to bring you money. So if you're living in the old house and there's no rented apartment, maybe like a BQ or a another apartment, like a multi-family unit, which is one of the best strategies to start real estate. I'll also mention that briefly. But the whole idea is to open your mind to say, it can be hostels, it can be, if you live maybe anywhere that there are schools and there are no enough accommodation for students, you can actually start from that angle by building hostel accommodation. It can also be land for farming. You can actually own the land and you don't have to be a farmer. There's a whole long value chain when it comes to agriculture. So it might just be the land that you lease to someone who does farming. So the land does not have to be in Lagos, that's my point. So wherever you are, just look up around you. What real estate problem do they have and how can you solve it? So I'm saying this particularly for people who just assume that it has to be a house and it has to be your dream house. It doesn't have to be your house. It doesn't have to even be where you want to live. It doesn't have to be in areas where you want to live. It can be in Ikorodu, it can be in Egbeda, anywhere, Maryland, wherever it is that you can afford. The whole idea is for you to understand the different options, the different description of property, and how you can, where is the easiest place for you to start from. I know a couple who we had a meeting with a few days ago. They want to buy a property in Banana Island, and I was at that meeting. But the truth is, when I sat in that meeting, I learned something. This couple didn't start today, because when they say they want to buy a penthouse in Banana Island, I'm like, these people are like my age mates. Oh God, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? But from that meeting alone, I realized that they had bought other investments, 1-bedroom apartments with the same developer, not one, not two. And they also have land investments in Lekki Phase 2, which is around Abraham Adesoya, and they want to now sell. So by the time they sell, what I realized, by the time they are putting all this up for sale, is already like 50% of the worth of the price they are going to pay for the penthouse. So we're not on the same level. Do you get? So it's not like looking at people and just assuming that, oh, everybody's on your level. For you to be a successful real estate investor and for you to start thinking of, you need to start small. You need to start buying those things gradually. And also, very importantly, you need to perfect your title, because real estate is about title. It's not something you're going to buy and lock in your house. So your title is also very important. But first thing is for you to know how to start. So if you're an investor and you're thinking, where do I start from? That is the whole idea for this webinar, creating your road to property ownership. It doesn't have to be a house you want to live in. Just look for, and there are different strategies. It can be land banking. It can be you purchase a property for rental income. It can be you buy, you fix, you renovate, and you rent it out. You can buy, renovate, and resell, which is property flipping. You can actually even start developing for people, because the truth is, in Nigeria, for example, there's housing deficit. More and more people are looking for houses. So you can actually provide that solution. There's also JV. JV is just joint venture. It's about collaboration, partnerships. Somebody has a land that is not ready to build or doesn't even have funds to build. Somebody else has funds and wants to go into property development. You come together and we do it together. Rent to rent, it's more like you buy a property, you rent a property and you actually put it up for rent again. So this is also very possible. I see this a lot in some apartments in Lagos, where young people like us, rent apartments and they can now eventually sublet those properties. But the thing is, you must let the owner know. So maybe you are doing short lets, whatever your intention is, you must make sure that it's well documented and it's done properly. Partnerships, like I said, very important in different angles. Maybe 2 or 3 friends want to come together, we buy a property, we get rent from it, and we share. All these things must be done properly. You need a trustee if you're doing an investment club. That's when more people are coming. This is all investment club is actually different from crowdfunding. It's different because you are members of a club. We know each other. Our wins are together. Our losses are together. Unlike crowdfunding, that you don't even know them, you just want people to bring money from different aspects. So there are different aspects to it. So you see, it's possible, but you need to first of all work on your mind to know that it's possible. So what else can you do if you're not even like a real estate person? You can actually monetize your knowledge, your intellectual property to get the deposit that is required. You can give expert advice. Just all what I'm trying to say, that these are avenues for you to look into and start preparing yourself on how you want to go about it. Okay, like we have that question. Okay. All right. Okay. So how much money do I need to buy this property? So it depends on what you want. What type of property do you want? What's your strategy? How best, when, who do I talk to? How do I increase my property knowledge? These are questions I personally have received over time. So it's largely about you and where you want to start from. What's your financial standing at the moment? So what are the things you look out for if you want to buy a property? First is location. Title, very important. The pricing, it's also important to you. The amenities so now maybe you are looking at a commercial property or a residential property. What are the amenities? The cash flow. How you need to know your numbers. I think that's even one of the biggest things when it comes to investment. It's about numbers. You don't assume that, oh, the property is in Ikoyi, it will do well. How much are you paying for it? How much return? What is the potential? What is the those are questions you need to ask, because this is just like a summary of what to look out for if you intend to buy a property at the moment. But largely, it's about you. It's about having a wish list of the kind of area that you're interested in, which is location that I just mentioned. You must always have a budget. So when you have a budget, you can compare it with the price of the property. Does it suit your budget? And sometimes your budget, clearly for me, if you come to me and you say you have a certain amount and you want to invest in Lagos, for example, I already have a clear positioning or a clear idea of the locations that your money can buy. Maybe it comes with experience, the expertise, but I already know that I can now give you options within that area. But it's the investor's responsibility to have a budget. When people say open budget, I don't even know what that means though. I just see them as unserious, but in Nigeria, we hear so many things. So check the common areas. If you are buying shared apartments, multi-living accommodation, you need to check out what are the rules of the estate, what are the rules, like there's some estates now pets are not allowed, there are some estates that you must public cabs are not allowed, you must come in at a certain time, they lock the gate at a certain time. You must always understand all these things. And if you are buying maybe a property from a developer, you should ask questions. You should find out what they've done before, find out what are people saying about them. Are they reputable? Have they delivered? Those are the questions you need to ask. And always think long term. So quickly, I also want to talk about the property cycle. Because property investment actually is dependent on the cycle. So you need to understand this is actually a whole topic, but I'm just going to put it here because I don't want to talk about property ownership without letting you know that there's also a timing to this, and it will always go round and round. And many people ask at this time, is it a good time to buy? Well, I would say yes, it's a good time to buy, especially for those who have cash. In fact, in Nigeria today, almost every developer can testify that real estate is really moving now. So like I said, it's also about how do you feed your mind and what do you feed your mind with. There are people who are going to say, oh, it's a downtime and people are not investing or people are not buying anything or people do not have money. I think you'll be doing yourself um, it's actually a limiting belief. You'll be doing yourself, should be shortchanging yourself if you have that mindset, because actually it's false. Well, maybe it's my own mindset telling me it's true, but I know for a fact that a lot of people are investing in property at this time, and I know for a fact that it's also a good time to buy. So I'll share the replay so you can take your time to understand the property cycle and how it works. So like I said, it's very important for you to feed your mind properly, have a positive mindset, and always remember that you're an average of the 5 people you spend your time. Because I realize that many people, not that they don't want to invest in real estate, or I feel fear is also a limiting belief. And the question of where do I start from, I think I wrote it somewhere in my slides. It's also very important. It's actually like evergreen question. Where do I start from? Start from wherever you are. That's the answer. Your journey to property ownership is a unique one, and you must also always remember that. So if you have questions, we need to, you can send them now so we can move, because we'll be rounding up shortly. So like I said, your mind matters. It always seems impossible until it's done. And you know, for me, I'm big on collaboration, and I'm also big on restarting from wherever you are. You don't have to wait till you have all the millions before you start investing in property. And okay, are there questions? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so some of the solutions like I've created so far, of course, okay, my book is also, or someone's asking what, so I think it's a private message. Okay, yeah, so I also talked about it. Yeah, so in my book is over 100 answers to nagging questions about real estate investments in Nigeria. You can actually get that as well. Then if you have more questions, you can always reach out to me, because we're running against time already. So someone there is asking, when investing via investment club, what are the key factors to look out for? It's basically, is it a project-based investment? So I'm assuming you are talking about a project-based investment club. So if you have an investment club you want to be a part of, sometimes just for educational purposes, where we have webinars like this and just sensitize the environment about what to look out for, because the truth is there are lots of flyers flying around town. But for like a real estate investment club, which is basically is about the project. What kind of projects are we looking at? Who are the people within the club? So there's an investment club I know, aside mine, which is a female also real estate club, and now they're talking about buying a resort in Ibadan for investments. So those are also ways that you can actually invest in real estate. But largely, for any property, whether it's an investment club or an individual purchase, it's about knowing exactly what the title is, visiting the location. If you're going to involve maybe external developers, who are they, how competent are they, what are people saying about them, what have they done before? So for me, in fact, I believe in Nigeria, if you're looking at Nigerian status, it will be very hard for you to come up with all the millions and say, I want to buy it. So it's better for you to start. The more you start, it's in the doing that you improve, and you also learn lessons and you move on. So it's very important that if you are working with someone, you must work with someone who is reputable, who can be found, and who just knows what he or she is doing. So largely is about ensuring that you do your due diligence, and it must be an independent one, not the one anybody told you, because the truth is you need to know the difference between a salesperson and a professional. So a salesperson is just saying, oh, shall I do and come and buy? Do you get? So you need to know that. So whatever a salesperson says, it's your responsibility before you part with your money to ask all the necessary questions. And those are things that I talked about. Yes, so I hope you got value. So here's my book. These are some of the solutions I've created personally. I have 2 books. It's on Amazon. I'm waiting for your questions. Yes, so it's on Amazon. You can get it. You can also, if you're in Lagos, Nigeria, you can get it from me. I also have an investment club called Chicks Doing Real Estate, although we have few dudes with us right now, yeah, because really, I feel more women need to own property. I'm sure you saw the news where they said married women can now purchase property in Rwanda. So you'll be wondering what has been happening all the while. Is it like women are not allowed to own property? Well, that's Africa for you, and we are changing the narrative where Africans are the solution to African problems. We're not waiting, we're not stopping, and the whole idea is more women should own property, and of course, more men should, because I believe men already have these conversations and they already know it's good to have properties. It's we women that we feel, oh, it's a man thing, or I'm not ready yet, I'm still doing one thing or the other. So it's very important that as women, we are strong and powerful as we are, and we get ahead. There's also, I'm building an e-course on how to buy real estate in Nigeria. A lot of people have asked for this, and I'm actually working on it. It's coming. You can also book a one-on-one session with me. And I also organize a real estate conference that I've been doing for a while now. And that's just who I am, and that's what I'm doing. I'm also working on a housing project. It's coming soon. And I hope more women will be able to take advantage of the opportunities coming up. So, questions. So, there's a question about government allocation land title. So the difference is government allocation estates like Lekki Phase 1, Lekki Phase 2 that government actually built. Ministry of Housing, Lagos State Ministry of Housing. It can actually be federal government, it doesn't matter. But the point is, the government designed that scheme. So you see all these Igondo scheme, even the one Lagos, because we're in Lagos, we use Lagos more. Lagos homes and all that. So there's estates in Ikorodu built by Lagos State. If you apply and you make the necessary payment, you can get your letter of allocation, and it's just free. It comes with peace of mind because at least you know it's not an estate that government will come and say, or somebody's harassing you or one on money, nothing like that, because they are just government lands. And like Abijo JRA, Lekki Phase 2, Lekki Phase 1. There are also other assets on the mainland in Ikorodu, Igondo, even in Rando, those LSDPC properties and all that. So that's the difference. So lease freehold actually is that land, because before now, land used to be freehold before it became leasehold through the Land Use Act. So freehold largely is that they haven't perfected their document, because by the time you have a C of O on the property, it's no more freehold, it's just for 99 years. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. You should get my book because that is actually about, it's well explained in it, yes. Approved excision is also explained. It's just when the government releases a portion of their own land back to this land owners, the settlers in their community. Yeah, because all land belongs to government, right? So when you are trying to sell government land, it's a problem. So excision is when government themselves release that land to you back, say, okay, I know it initially was yours, but because of the Land Use Act, it became mine, that's government. But you, the families can write, not the developer, not an individual. It is the community, the owners of the land, who can apply for an excision. And when it's approved, it's in a gazette and it is well documented. All right, more questions as we round up. So thank you everyone for joining. It's been a great time. It's been a great time. I really appreciate your time. I'll also be sending the replay. I hope it was recording though. Yeah, I'll send the replay to everyone who actually subscribed to this at this time. Yeah, so thank you. I hope you got value and it made sense. Yes, so thank you. So feel free to reach out to me. I really appreciate you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So feel free, you can reach out to me if you have more questions. And if not, we can call it a day. Thank you.